Heading over to Germany, Gab, where we've got some results. Let's start off with Bayern up against Borussia Monchengladbach. If you didn't know how to say their name before, put some respect on it because they're bossing the league surprisingly. You predicted a 1-1 draw in this one, right? But clearly Bayern had other plans.
It would have been a 1-1 draw if not for Javi Martinez at the end on Marcus Thuram giving away that penalty, which ultimately gave Gladbach the 2-1 win. I don't want to say quite smash and grab from Gladbach, but this game actually followed the same blueprint as a week before against for Bayern, which they also lost against Bayer Leverkusen, in the sense that they dominated, they had a lot of the ball. Flick changed things around. He left Gnabry and Coutinho on the bench, started Muller and Kingsley Coman instead. And they created tons of chances, but they couldn't finish them. And they were punished on the break. Ben Sebaini equalizing, and then of course converting that penalty at the very end. And Gladbach are for real. Gladbach also perhaps showing a little bit that, you know what, they don't have to be bang, bang, bang all the time. They can also bide their time a little bit, just rely on the speed of the forwards, which is what they did, I think, a lot in this game. And then rely a little bit on some good fortune at the end, because, you know, that tackle, that penalty that Javi Martinez gave away, not what you'd expect.
So what's going on with Bayern now? We just have to ask this question again, because when you look at their last two losses, of course, the one against Leverkusen, I mean, that came as a surprise. Shout out to my boy Leon Bailey, though, for those goals in that one. You know, I had to plug the Jamaican plug. But surely, on paper, this team, despite injuries and whatnot, is still the most talented team, right? You would think, or the better team of these two?
Yeah, I don't know. They're a more talented team, man for man, than Gladbach. But I think what's happened in the last two weeks is they've really paid a price coming up against very, very quick strikers on the other end. Obviously, Leon Bailey needs no introduction. Doesn't score often, but, you know, when
back
he does,
from injury, goodness.
Okay, all right. But it also doesn't help when, you know, you're up against a severely depleted back line, because whether it's Javi Martinez and David Alaba last week, or this week Jerome Boateng was in there, you know, you're not going to have the same quickness, flat out foot race. You know, time passes for Boateng too. You know, and so you are going to be vulnerable that way. I'm less concerned. I look at, you know, how many chances a team create and how many chances a team concede, and in those departments, these last two games, I thought Bayern got the job done. I don't think, you know, you need to panic, but you do have to be a bit smart. Look at the table and say, whoa, we are 7 points back now. We're stuck in 7th place.
Not seventh heaven.
We got to get things. That's, you know, good thing you have a day job. But you know, they have to get things going in double quick time, because they're behind Borussia Dortmund even. Remember Borussia Dortmund? Everybody was saying the sky's falling, the sky's falling. They did a number on your boy Jurgen Klinsmann. 5-0.
You were itching to do that.
I don't want to have a go, but, you know, he was hammered last weekend at home, this time away from home. 2 goals each for Marco Reus and Jadon Sancho, Thorgan Hazard adding another. And now even Dortmund are almost back in the conversation. I think they're 5 points off the pace.
Well, we're going to get to that in a bit, just kind of seesawing of the Bundesliga. That's a lot of people are saying thank goodness for. But just back to Bayern, you kind of touched on it a little bit in the start when we were talking about Coutinho. Didn't get to see him on new stub, as well as Gnabry. If you're them, how concerned are you? Or would you have liked to see them come on? You think they would have made a difference?
I mean, the problem with Bayern wasn't creating chances. The problem with Bayern was finishing those chances. Obviously, I think Gnabry might have been some physical issues as well. Coutinho hasn't played that much. He's tried him a couple times with Muller, but ultimately, you know, just as Muller wasn't playing before under Kovac, now he's opted for Muller in a lot of games, simply because of the extra pressing, the extra physicality that he brings when Coutinho's played. We've seen him play wide. We saw him, I think, once with Muller in the middle. But I think this is something where Coutinho's there on loan. He's going to have to do something really impressive to come and work his way into the team, as long as they're creating chances. When they stop creating chances, fine, that's when you turn to Coutinho. But Bayern certainly are going to go and build their team around Philippe Coutinho at this stage.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.